A frantic call about a kidnapped baby gripped California, but investigators now say 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro was already gone days earlier. His parents, Jake and Rebecca Haro, told a story, but the truth may be darker than anyone imagined. So here's the question: what drives parents to create a lie that hides the death of their own child? If questions like that keep you thinking, hit like, subscribe so you never miss the cases that matter most. Emmanuel Haro's short life ended in tragedy, and the timeline is as haunting as it is revealing. On August 14th, Jake and Rebecca Haro told police their baby had been kidnapped. They described strangers, fear, and a sudden disappearance. But prosecutors now say Emmanuel had already died days earlier, around August 5th. That shift in the timeline is not just a detail, it is the moment the case stopped being a missing child alert and became a murder investigation. Jake and Rebecca were arrested and charged with murder, as well as filing a false report. At a press conference, Riverside County's district attorney revealed that investigators have a strong indication of where Emmanuel's remains may be. Those words reshaped the entire case, turning hope for a safe return into the heartbreak of a likely recovery mission. But Emmanuel's story does not begin in August, it begins years earlier. In 2018, Jake Haro faced charges for abusing another infant, his daughter. That abuse left the child permanently disabled. Prosecutors at the time argued for a tougher sentence, but the judge granted Jake a break. This week, the DA made it clear that decision may have cost Emmanuel his life. What was mercy in one courtroom became, in the eyes of prosecutors, the opening to another tragedy. Inside the current case, two conflicting stories continue to battle each other. Prosecutors claim Jake confessed to a jailhouse informant, admitting what happened to Emmanuel. Rebecca, however, still insists the kidnapping story is true. One parent allegedly admits, the other denies, and the truth is trapped in between. But investigators point to sustained abuse, evidence they believe shows a pattern that ended in the baby's death. This case is not only about Jake and Rebecca Haro, it is also about responsibility. It is about the choices Jake made, the silence Rebecca holds to, and the system that once looked at a permanently injured infant and chose leniency. Therefore, Emmanuel's story forces us to ask how much responsibility belongs to his parents and how much to the courts that once set his father free. The rhythm of this case builds like a drumbeat, from frantic 911 calls to press conferences, to the quiet voice of prosecutors laying out a chain of events. Each moment brings us closer to the same realization: Emmanuel Haro never had a chance to tell his own story. The people entrusted with protecting him became the people accused of ending his life, and a justice system that might have stopped them is now accused of standing silent. Jake and Rebecca Haro's call about a kidnapping was not a cry for help. It was a cover for something far worse. Mercy once granted in court may have carried a cost no one wanted to pay. Which failure do you see first, the family that lied, or the system that looked away? What do you think failed Emmanuel first, his parents' choices, or the justice system's leniency? Share your thoughts below. I want to hear your perspective. If you want the full breakdown with all the evidence and courtroom details, check out my other videos next. They go deeper than anyone else.